Welcome to Flory Models Daily Vlog. Here we are on Friday the 18th of September 2015, and for me, I've been getting on with the RB6. To be honest, we've got the transmission and the power plant and everything installed. We've got the radiators, they're all in there. Complicated the way it goes together, but actually the fit is superb. So there's actually no glue holding the back end, the wheels on and all the rest of it. It's literally just because of friction put in there. We've got the seat and the harnesses installed, so that's all good. All the bits and pieces, and then to be honest, I've done a test spray on the front end here of the colour that we're going to be using. Now it's only had one coat so far, and then it will need polishing, recoating, polishing, and then obviously lacquering and then decaling. So there's still a long way to go on this, but generally I think the colour's pretty spot on. It looks dark compared to the box, but when you compare it to the decals, obviously this light blue stripe down in here, it's quite a dark blue stripe in reality, so it does need to be darker to show it right the way through. So generally no problem. My only point is, we were talking about, thanks for all the emails I've had about this colour, but really paying £9 for a tiny bit of yellow that you're going to use once and that is never going to use it again. So what I'm going to do is going to have a go at colour matching it. So I'm going to work my way through the yellows, tiny bit of clear orange, and we're going to try and make this colour up ourselves. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think we can do it. It's just going to take a little bit of playing around with to get it right. Luckily for us, we've got a good sized decal down here that we can colour match against to give us the right type of shade and the hue, but by the time it's lacquered it should all blend in really well. From that point of view, as soon as we've got this one actually painted and decaled and all the rest of it, it will be done. So I reckon this will be done by Tuesday next week. Working out over the weekend, a couple of days next week, and we'll have this one done. Then it's going to be the actual F104 Starfighter. Looks like we're going to be doing a new metal finish. Then I'm doing, because obviously I'm planning ahead for it, I had every intention of using the Vallejo new acrylic metallics, but then my heart's telling me, look, they're not quite going to be as good to go as something like the AK ones, because the AK ones, we know they give a fantastic finish. We haven't used the AK ones, but I, very in between. I think we're going to go down the AK route just to see if we can mask them, see how they lacquer, see how they come under thing. These guys really have fantastic. I have liked them. I have used it down on this one. It's just I'm thinking for something a little bit bigger, we need to have the best possible finish we can get, and I know we're going to get them with the AK stuff, and I'd love to have a go. So I'm pushing towards AK. Don't worry, I might change my mind and go back to Vallejo yet. Who knows? As soon as we get the building stage on the go, that's where I might change my mind and make my way through. Yesterday's reviews, if you've seen them, we did one of them and I spoke about my 1/48th fencer against the kit review for the 72nd one, and I talked about actually dust on your models and cleaning up your dust and everything else like that. So let's have a look. Okay, today's quick tip for you. Literally, I'm just about to do a review on the fencer, and I've got one here, which, to be honest, I've had for ages, and it has been sat on top of one of these cabinets in the studio, gathering dust since the day we moved in. Now, it had a bit of a hard life when we came back from a show many years ago, and I can't remember which show we did, but it came apart. We lost the nose off of it, we lost a few bits and pieces, so to be honest, it went up on top of the shelf, and that was it. So I thought, when we were doing the review, I'll get it down and show you guys. Trouble is, I'm not joking, it was underneath 2 inches of dust. So to start with, it's had a brush over outside, to be honest, because I don't want the dust in here, and we've brushed over everywhere quite carefully with one of these. Now this is one of these microfiber brushes. They're absolutely great because they cling the dust, they hold on to it, but when it is really ground in, a lot of people say to me, how do you clean your model? So it's had that completely over it, so it's looking a bit dusty so far. Then we've come in, we've gone over it with the airbrush. Literally have the extractor running, put it in the bay and blow it all over. Then you get down to the real in-ground stuff, okay? Now I've already done a little bit, all right, which you can probably see down the back here. But if we work our way down this section, we'll probably be a bit better at the back. So actually what we've got here, little puddle of water, which I might do another one just here so you can see. So a little puddle of water, put in a brush. Now you don't just want to put a soaking wet brush on your model. So all you do, pick up a little bit of water, okay? And then if we do, probably this side would be better, we're just going to flick over the model, okay? Now obviously we've got washes on here and all things like that, so we're just going to flick lightly over it. The idea is we're picking up the dirt and all the gunk on here, so when we come in, you can see it on the paper towel, that's all the dirt and dust and everything else. Now obviously you don't want to be streaking around on your weathering. This thing is very heavily weathered, but all you're trying to do is have a damp enough brush to pick up the rubbish, and then you just pick up a bit more water, take it off your brush a little bit, okay, and we'll work up here. And obviously anywhere there's a 90-degree angle you're going to get it, but all you're doing is gently flicking over picking up the dust particles onto your brush, clean them out on a paper towel, rinse your brush, okay, and then just coming back, and you're just going to work right the way over the model like that, because all you're doing really is just picking up the dust and taking it with you, okay, and then that way it will naturally dry back nice and clean. Okay, so if we just do this tail down here, so picking up pretty much all of it. Okay, clean out your brush. You can see here, really dirty. Okay, back over it again, pick up a little bit more over the tail. And if you go with direction of airflow on aircraft, it will dry back very naturally, but you can see it doesn't take much and it is showing them filthy. Now, the other area is obviously around the glasswork and all things like that. I don't know how well the cameras will get you here, but this one exactly the same. So pick up a little bit of water, damn you control hangers, okay, clean off your brush so it's nice and clean, okay, and then exactly the same right the way over the glass part, okay, then just rinse it out, rinse it all off and then back in. Okay, you just dry your brush off and then go over it again, just drying it off. Then obviously you can come in with cotton wool buds and all things like that, but there we go, that's the before and after there. Now open canopies, you got obviously be very careful with these, but basically the format's the same. You're just going to come in, I'm going to wipe right the way over them. To be honest, I've got to fix the other one back in, but if I can not fix this one, that's a bonus. Okay, everything on there. Right the way over. Okay, drying off the brush. Okay, then naturally let it air dry and you should end up with what we've got here. So we've got a nice clean canopy, and then obviously you can come in with a cotton bud and just buff up just the clear part, just to give it that nice crystal clear look. Again, like that, versus the other side, you can probably see it's still got dust all over it, just like that, okay? And that is literally it. It's as simple as that. But I do recommend just normal water. Don't use anything else. Just water. Go through. Go right over it. It will darken down, and then as it dries, it will lighten up and go right the way through. But there we go. Just a quick tip about cleaning your models. So there you go, dusting your models. Let's face it, we're all guilty of it. My cabinet, which I intend to have a good clear out, I'm going to move some of my stash out of the way, going to make some room for some stuff, which to be honest is why I've got this guy down here. Is I bought a load of these. A lot of you saw this on the weekly review, but I bought some of these. These are actually on offer now. If you want to run out and grab them, Creative Models in the UK. They work out, I think they're about £10 each for these. Absolutely fantastic. They're not perfect because you're not going to get a 48 scale tornado in here, but if you've got something about this size, then they work really well. The beautiful thing with these as well is, one, completely dust free, all right? Secondly, they stack, so you can put one on top of the other. I don't think that's necessarily the best way to display your model, but generally I think it's probably a cheap, affordable way of doing it. I think, you know, a base down on here, either a Sperry coat or perhaps a paper one you could put down on there, model on top, and away you go. You've got a very nice display model on the go to display your work. Okay, just remember, like I do, tiny little bit of blue tack on the wheels stops them sliding around. All right, so there we go. That's about it for this week. Join me again next week where we'll hopefully make our way through some more fantastic builds and everything else like that. So I'm going to leave you with your gallery finishes from this week's work in the gallery section. So until next week, everybody, happy modelling and take care.